So my parents bought Point Breeze Resort in 1969. So I guess that's how I got to the lake. I'm not really original, but I'm probably as close as there could be because I was 1 at the time. So they ran Point Breeze. Point Breeze is right by Dog Days and the Grand Gully Bridge. It's now the Hamptons. So that was kind of my growing up area. I went to school down here through 6th grade, and then they sold that resort in '82 and went back to Red Bud, Illinois, which is like the opposite thing of what people do.
Yeah.
People usually come down here after they retire, they left. But
it was
lake
it was a
in my
good
blood.
thing that they came back to Red Bud,
Absolutely.
because that's how we ended up meeting. And I'm from Red Bud, Illinois, but the ironic thing is we used to come and vacation at Point Breeze Resort. And his mom and my grandma were very good friends because your mom used to do my grandma's hair. And then I went to work in high school and college for your brother and sister-in-law. So Jeff is an oops. So that's kind of where
Good
this.
to know.
Well, yeah.
Thank you.
But you were
I
a
would-
blessing. Your mom called you a blessing.
She would say blessing. We all knew the truth. Accident. Yeah.
So, but since you did move back to Red Bud, that's how we ended up meeting.
So then fast forward, had to do something with people. I worked at a steel fabrication plant and went to a little school for accounting and realized that wasn't for me. So needed to get with people. Thought I'd try real estate, never realized real estate will try you, not the opposite. So licensed in '94, went to work for a small company called First Lake Realty, was there for 4 years. Really didn't even think of leaving. Leaving wasn't in my thought, but I definitely was capped at the volume of sales that I could do because I was trying to do all things. I was trying to answer the phone and process closings, and back at that time, do everything. But Frank Christensen, who had RE/MAX Lake of the Ozarks, started recruiting. And what happened with that?
Well, he kept getting letters in the mail, and he looked at RE/MAX as they eat their young.
I was told that they eat their young.
Yeah, it's too big and
Too expensive, cutthroat, what have you. I was scared.
well, and I would get his letters out of the trash can and put them on the counter. So when Jeff got home, he would look at those.
She'd say, "What's this?" And I'd be like, "It's another letter from RE/MAX. I don't think we're interested."
Well, and how I ended up getting into it, because you mentioned you worked for a steel fabrication plant. So I actually fell in love with the guy that worked in this factory, but I knew he had a lot of potential. So when you came back at Christmas time, he gave me his business card, and if you're from Red Bud, that's a really big deal. So
Use what you got.
yeah, but I didn't know you were like kind of broke. So so I had to figure out how to get out of Red Bud, and you were my way out.
Nice to know.
Yes,
So-
but you had a lot of potential.
So anyway, we did take a meeting with Frank. I reluctantly took a meeting with Frank because of that. Scared of nothing. At that time, I was really, really worried about this big company and all the people. But once we sat down with him, we joined RE/MAX in '98. That was the same year that you got licensed, right?
Yes, but prior to that, I worked probably every job here at the lake. Really was just trying to find my way. So we've probably been through a lot more than people think. We lost your parents within 2 weeks of each other.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. And so at that point, I was in restaurant management. I did an internship at Tantera. And when that happened, I thought, okay, I need to go more of a safer route, maybe better hours. So then I was going to become a teacher. Then I figured out I was going to get fired because I did not.
You're
No.
mean. You're
Kinda
meaner.
mean.
You're meaner than people think. I mean, that woman.
You can't do things to children in a public school district. So I had to get out of that. So then that's when I decided that summer I would be your assistant.
You did not decide you'd be my assistant.
No, I was going to help you.
Yeah, right.
So
She from day one was like my boss. So all of a sudden we entered the era of now we're together and working together, which is really special. Common in this industry, but really tough.
it was tough because too, we had Cassie was 5 when we
Fired her
left?
twice.
Yes, he did fire me twice, but I said, you can't fire me because, where am I going to go?
Never ever had anybody that I told you're fired and they don't leave.
Yeah, twice.
Nope,
But that was
not
okay.
leaving.
I just let you cool off. And we were fine, and it's been 25 plus years later.
It didn't take long to realize she was way better at sales than I could ever be. But we came into Remax with one listing. We came in as primary agents. Nobody knew that we only had one listing because we call it our featured listing.
Well, and we were the power of two.
Yep, power of
we
two.
were trying to
Frank,
find
we
two
said to
slogans.
Frank, okay, we're here. What do we do? And he said, you go talk to the agents. And he sent us to talk to Jane Kelly.
Yes.
And we reluctantly went into Jane's office and said, okay, now what works? What's working for you right now? And she said, oh, here, let me show you. And just laid it out there.
Well, and
Yeah.
everyone was like that. When we came to Remix, you were scared to death. I knew you couldn't reach your full potential, and I had an inkling that I wanted to come in and help, but the other company didn't want extra outside help to be in, so I ended up getting more frustrated. But everyone at Remax was an open book.
So that was about the time we had our first, let's see, what year was Jake born?
Well, Jake was born in 2000, so when we first joined Remax, we were engaged,
We had Cassie.
and we had Cassie already. Then we got married, and then we got pregnant right after we got married with Jacob. So we grew up.
So it was like the two of us in the office, and Jake would be hanging from the door with a bottle hanging out of his mouth, sleeping in one of those bouncy
Yep,
things.
he was in the little bouncers.
It was crazy, but it was fun. We proceeded to want. We always want to grow. We continue. I mean, today we want to grow. You never figure this thing out, but we did want to grow without any development. And so we made lots and lots of mistakes. Remax opened lots of doors. All of a sudden we had access to tremendous agents, lots of ideas, but we really didn't have any structure. So we inadvertently made lots of mistakes. We hired a team, but didn't know, I mean, we grew a team so quick, like in the first 2 years, but had no idea how to lead a team, how to take care of people. So consequently, we lost most of those people, and they were really good people. Looking back now, I know exactly whose fault that was.
It was our fault.
It was. We hired a coach in 2000 and probably in 2003, 2004. He was with us for 5 years, and we hired him to fix the rest of the team, and he quickly told us the problem is not them, it's you guys. So that was a big turning point. That 5 years was a big turning point for us because he really helped us. Well, he helped our relationship, our marriage, our parenting, our
Financing.
everything.
Well, and I think you and I have probably been through almost anything you could be thrown at. So I think that's what's neat about now that we're part of the brokerage, because we want to help other people avoid the painful things that we've been through, because we've been through more than I think people realize. I mean, we've been through several market changes. How do you work through that? How do you work with your spouse? We threw in another kid in there. We had one more. So it has been a fun roller coaster, but chaotic.
So we had this period of time where we were growing in business. We were trying to grow a team, and at the same time getting really close to Frank, and he was getting closer to retirement. So in 2007, he approached us and asked us if we would want to buy into the franchise. And although that was really daunting, we could not see letting this company that we were completely bought into, love the people, we couldn't see allowing that to fall into anyone else's hands. So it was an easy decision for us to say yes. However, that was 2007. We didn't see what was coming.
For those of you that remember 2007, those were eventful couple years.
2008 comes, the market changed tremendously. Light switch turns off. Our personal team production went from 42 million to 19 million. We went from 82 agents at Remax to 50 in a 2-year period of time. The market dropped 50% in transactions, and it was just a really tough time. We had personally over leveraged, and so for us, we had to make lots of fast decisions about what to sell so that we didn't get in trouble with our business. Looking back, probably the best thing that ever happened to us, because it was like a reset. We learned to go back to fundamentals, go back to what you know works. And that literally, we're sitting here today, and that is the fundamentals of this business have never changed. So that was a great thing to live through. It was not an easy thing to live through.
We did live through it. I think we can give pretty good advice of, running a business, working together, how to work with your children. We now have one of our children that's in the business. We can help you with finances. We can help you not get divorced, how you can work through and have do-overs. We have do-overs in our house, in our business. No, but I wouldn't have changed it.
So 2010 that was actually the market low, right?
Yeah.
And so we kind of, that was the time when I actually started to move into the broker role, which was really strange. But what we didn't know is Frank was kind of schooling us for a while. And so he had us being involved with the training and the broker type stuff ahead of time. So I was becoming more involved with the broker side, which really we didn't have a lot of involvement. We were growing a big team. We had a bigger team at that point. So you get into that broker role and it changes all your, normally you're like hyper focused on how do I get a listing or how do I make a sale. And then you kind of transition into how do I help an agent or how do I solve a problem. And so that became like every day what we were doing. Well, so we made it through 2010 and that was the low. And I think that being able to have Frank there is what, he kept reassuring us that those agents that are willing to do what they have to do and what they know works, we're going to be fine. And we were fine. And that's been something that has never left us.
No, I agree.
That was very helpful. It was a different time, but it also really got us back into the fundamentals. And it was a time where I was he was trying to move me to a broker role because we had been part owners, a small part owner of the company since 7, but really he was still there day in, day out. So he started moving more towards full retirement, moving me into the, how do you help an agent grow their business and how do you solve, the crazy stuff that comes up in real estate every day. And that became more of what we did every day. Mel, you really kind of took over team and sales, and I kind of moved into that role.
And then, I moved in more of the broker role later, but, we had Frank involved, we had yourself, and then we also had George and Ebby too at the time.
Right. So. Yeah, we all shared responsibilities. And he was moving more towards retirement. And fast forward like to 2015, and he called us one day and said, hey, what do you think about partnering with Jason and Natalie? Yeah. And I said, the football player?
I knew Jason more because he was selling at the time, so I got to do a couple of transactions with them, and I just really enjoyed him. So I was like, yes, let's get to him.
I didn't know him much at all, other than he had his own company and he was growing and seemed like a nice guy, but didn't know him much.
Well, when I met him, he only had 5 kids. So then, they wanted to be overachievers and had to have one more. So then we had 6.
Mind blowing.
Which their family is amazing.
Oh, it's awesome.
Amazing.
I can't wrap my head around it. I didn't know when we first met, how much we needed them. Hopefully we have done some for them too, but we needed them bad. We had big shoes to fill with Frank wanting to leave completely, and just the synergy that team brought to the company and the way that the people that they are. It was just, so it's really allowed us to, Frank had a culture in that office of sharing, very open door, very what do you need, and a culture, that is not easy to maintain.
No.
But Jason is that guy, and Natalie is that person as well. And the two of them combined, it was just, it was a lot easier, I think. Do you?
Well, I think
agree?
they're very like-minded, so I think everyone meshed really well, and I think we inspire each other to do even more, to give back. Because now, since we are in the broker role, and I still sell as well, but you really get true joy about seeing someone's life change. So when the agents come in that they're new, that maybe join RE/MAX or have been there, and they grow their business, they get to maybe do really neat life things, travel with their family, and change their world. That's really cool.
So, and that's where I get excited, because we can take what we've been through, and most of it is about how to avoid the stupid mistakes that we made, like books and pages of, incredible. But we can talk about things like, transitioning from a independent company to a franchise on an independent role. We can talk to them about an independent that wants to grow a team. We can talk to them about how to leverage into like different investments. We partnered, we went to because of Jane Kelly, hate to name drop, but because of her,
And
Frank told us to, but we just didn't listen to him.
Right.
We kept saying, what do we do to better our business? And he would tell us, like, write a business plan, and we'd never do it. And he'd tell, then we'd ask him the same question again. He'd be like, where's your business plan?
Well, he almost fired us one day, and we were running and gunning. We had great sales. I thought he was coming in to tell us what a great job we did, and he's like, where's your business plan? And we're like, we are too busy. Look at our production. Is what we were thinking in our head.
Couldn't fit my ego through the door.
And then he's like, well, maybe this isn't the place for you. And I'm like, whoa, we got to get our act together.
But what he knew was that we were making a bunch of sales and not keeping any of the money.
Yeah.
That was back in 2003, 2004 time.
I think it was right when we had Zach.
And we were selling a lot, but we had no plan, and we were spending a whole lot of money. And that, we want agents that produce a lot, but we want the agents to keep as much as they possibly can, whether they're selling $2 million a year or whether they're selling $10 million a year. It doesn't matter. So we asked Frank what to do, and he would always say business plan, but he would also say, get outside your box, go to a training event. Well, that's, Jane Kelly one time said, go to a Howard Brinton deal. We finally, because of them and because of you, because I didn't need it in my mind, we finally went, and it was like somebody opened our eyes. They said, you have all the connections. Partner with someone. They need what you have, you need what they have. Find a builder that needs help. And so we did. And we started building. That got us into spec homes and selling, building homes, and we did some in Fort Leonard Wood, some off the water, some lakefront. And that we probably did that for 5 or 7 years. And then since Jason's come aboard, we've done some more development in commercial and condominium and things like that. And I think it's not for every agent, but for some, it's a neat option to have because it's a business that allows you some opportunity in that.
Well, and I think in real estate, you get your license and you're a salesperson. You're maybe not a business person. And you have to learn those roles because otherwise you just spin your wheels. So if you don't know what your P&L is, you don't have it written down, you don't have a good tax accountant that you're working with, you don't have a financial advisor, you're just kind of swimming out there. And a lot of times I'm like, you're like a little duck, and I know your little feet are going, but you need to figure this out somehow. And I think everyone at RE/MAX shares and helps with that part of your business too.
So we've tried to structure, bring a little more. So since Jason came on and Frank retired, obviously maintaining the culture is number one. We want everybody to share all the time. But we have tried to implement a little bit of structure, so we're doing our part. And mainly what I mean by that is, you can get siloed. It doesn't matter what the name of the company is. You can get into your role and forget to associate with your peers and gain ideas and network and share. And so we try to no matter their role, we try to have a schedule of meetings, fun events, one-on-one meetings, primary group meetings, team leader meetings, things that force ourselves to get outside of our box and keep those ideas flowing, because that's the name of the game, I think.
No, I think it is, and I think, our goal is we just want to grow more. We want to have like-minded people.
Yeah, I was going to say, stop the presses. Why do we want to grow? What's the...
Well, I think at RE/MAX, you may hear some of the agents say that we live in the law of abundance. So the more good people that you work with, the more there is for everyone. And I think that's true for just in life. The more you give, the more life gives you back.
Growth without development's not good. I mean, we first want to grow through our agents' productions. So we don't want to grow in number of agents. We want to grow first in the most productive agents. So we want our agents to increase their businesses. Then we want to grow with like-minded people, people that fit the mold. But sometimes people don't realize, we talk to a lot of people, and a whole bunch of them just aren't a great fit.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the volume that a person does, it matters what kind of person is the right fit, because we want to have a happy place to work, and we want people that are like-minded. I hope that makes sense.
No, I think it does. So, what would you say if someone doesn't know you? What do you like to do personally?
Oh, geez Louise.
So tell them about.
Okay, well, look, I like people, I do, but then I like my private time. I love outdoors, so I love to fish, and I love to hunt, and I love to golf, and if I could figure out a way to make money on a tractor, I probably would.
What's your new thing?
Planting food plots. I like food plots.
Like
it's something about doing something, seeing it completed.
Yes. You're project oriented.
Yes.
Yeah.
Catching a fish. Beautiful food plots. I like doing that.
I'm
stuff
getting my
too.
sunflowers. So.
What do you like?
To have fun. So I love people. I could have us booked every night of the week for a social event.
Tries.
Yes. So what I love about our company is it is fun. When you walk in, it is energy, and people are talking about ideas and, what can we do? And I just like our events that we have. We've got boat day coming up. It's
Too
summer.
much fun, if anything.
Well, yeah, sometimes it's too much fun.
Work hard, play hard.
The RE/MAX conventions are awesome, But I think personally, I love spending time with our family. So we have 3 beautiful children. They're grown now. One is still hanging on, still at home, but about ready to leave the house, right?
I think that you've told him he's got no choice.
Right.
I think you said he has to leave the house.
Yeah.
In a good way.
In a good way. He's got to go fly.
But we've got 2 beautiful granddaughters now, Lincoln and Marley, and their parents, Cassie and Tyler, are living still in Peoria, but we are lobbying hard to get them to move the Lake of the Ozarks. So we think we got a chance. We love those 2.
Well, I'd say we're very family orientated. So we're very much about family. We're very much about balance.
You have to have a balance.
And we weren't always balanced.
This business will not. I mean, you gotta. It's like brutally honest. It gives you back what you put in for sure. And the first years are kind of, you're a little at the mercy of the business, I think. But you can be intentional about that and change it, and you can get more. If you are intentional about it, you can create beautiful balance.
Nope, I would agree. I think, the 2 of us, we have a ball together. I think it's fun. I mean, if you were here at our house, you'd see, I have a sign that says this kitchen is for dancing. So if you're part of our culture, I will be the first one up to dance.
You will.
And the last one to sit down. But I like this business because it's challenging, but you get to have your family involved.
I like it because of the people, not only the agents. Our agents are the best group of people that you would ever meet. Like you said earlier, you go into any of them and ask them for their help. They're going to lay it out there. but I also think it's just an awesome business for the people that we meet. I mean, we work in an unbelievable market because the people that come to Lake of the Ozarks choose to come to Lake of the Ozarks. They're not job transferred in here. They made a choice to be here because of the lifestyle. And man, are we lucky with the people we meet.
It's pretty cool. And then when you talk to other agents in other areas, they don't get our experiences. Now, they don't have to deal with, septics, Ameren permits, inventory, but I'd be bored if we didn't have that to deal with.
So in 2007, Frank came around and he came to quite a few people in the office and just kind of laid out his plan. Maybe it was 2006, I don't know. But ultimately, we had a opportunity to buy into the company. We were actually partnered on a building with him already, but we had an opportunity to buy into the company, and it was Mel and I and George and Ebby that were buying into the RE/MAX Lake of the Ozarks franchise at that time, and it was like a no-brainer for us, and I think it was a no-brainer for them. We had been partners with them since 2000 on a building.
Yes.
I mean, knew each other really well already, and it was an easy answer. So we bought in at that time, and we had an awesome run with that partnership.
It was fun. I think the best was when Ebby convinced us to get on that. What was it? We were riding on in the airport.
Like one of those golf carts, but it was a 6-person golf cart, and we were late for a deal, and we got on there.
Like the connecting.
We got on there with, actually that was after Jason and Natalie came. So it was George, Ebby, me and you, and Jason and Natalie all on that cart with the driver flying through the airport. I've always wanted to do it, but never knew how.
Ebby got us on it.
Ebby got us on it. It was awesome.
No.
Lots of stories, lots of lots of great times. So.
No, because, we went through where we lost George a few years ago, and that was hard. Because I think at our culture, you're part of each other's families. We watched our kids get raised together. They helped us quite a bit, and you're losing kind of a family member.
For sure.
It was hard.
Well, you're spending a lot of days, a lot of hours together, and you get to know those folks really, really, your partners really, really well. So if you're out there and you're wanting to grow, maybe you're in the business or you're thinking about getting in the business, do yourself a favor and explore all the options, because we're so passionate about helping someone grow and develop in it that we just want the chance to talk to you. We would love that, whether you're wanting to just do a better job for your clients and grow from that standpoint, or you're wanting to go from an individual agent and grow a team, or you're just getting into it. By the way, people from outside the industry are sometimes you have more opportunity than you ever know in this business. And we've had a great track record with people coming from outside the industry and getting on a team. It's just an easier way to get in the business, in my opinion, and it just decreases the odds of failure, increases the odds of success, and it starts you up faster. And we've got tremendous teams as well.
Well, and I think, personality-wise, once you meet us and get to know us even better, we truly want the best for someone, and we believe in people. We had the opportunity, 25, 30 years ago.
To be given the opportunity.
People believed in us. So if you have a will and you want to do this, we want to see you succeed. I look at myself personally, I was kind of the underdog. I wasn't supposed to necessarily be where we're at today, but because of other people's encouragement, I think that's part of our success.
And I was the one that was wadding those recruiting letters up and throwing them in the trash, because I thought that I didn't have the production, I didn't have the experience, that those people at RE/MAX wouldn't talk to me. That's what I was thinking. And she was thinking, We need to be there. And so I didn't know what I didn't know. I mean, that was the bottom line.
Well, and I think how I looked at it as you want to, golf better, you golf with better golfers. You want to have a better family? Well, hang out with a couple that's got a great marriage with really good kids. So if you want to sell more real estate, why don't you go where the best people are? Because they didn't come in and try to stop us. They just lifted us up.
Opened everything up and said, this is what we do. And don't ever hesitate to call anybody at the company, at our company, and ask. If you're curious about RE/MAX, call them and ask them, and they will tell you.
They will. We would just love the opportunity to meet with you, and hopefully this gave you a little bit more insight about us.
Our craziness.
Good or bad. So we appreciate you watching.